Bonjour everyone, I'm your humble French tarot reader Marine, and today I'm excited to be doing a VR to the hashtag top 11 current favorite decks. This is a VR to Amethyst Ascension Tarot and Astrology, or Rachele. So thank you so much to Rachele for creating this tag. I've seen it circling around on YouTube and it sounded really fun, so I wanted to join in. It's very straightforward. We are being asked to share our current 11 favorite tarot and oracle decks. Of course, I'll make sure to leave Rachele's original video in the description box, and if you click on the hashtag, you'll be able to see everyone else's VR. I thought I would approach this tag a little bit differently, as some of you may know if you watch my videos regularly, but I got super sick at the beginning of April, and I caught the chikungunya, which is a mosquito-borne illness. It targets articulation, it makes all your articulation seize up, and because I already deal with chronic illness and chronic pain on a day-to-day, it created a really awful combo for my body, meaning that I was actually unable to use any tarot oracle decks for about 4 weeks, as I literally couldn't shuffle, my hands were super painful, I couldn't even open the box, okay, so let alone like try and shuffle my decks, and that meant that for a month I didn't use any decks, and that has never happened to me. Ever since I've started learning tarot years and years ago, I've never spent more than 1 week reading the cards, whether it's for myself or for someone else. So now that I'm slowly but surely getting better, I'm not there yet, I'm still in a lot of pain, my articulations are still very painful, but I'm slowly getting back on my feet. I am starting slowly but surely to approach some of my decks again and to start a little bit reconnecting with my love for tarot, as I was unable to do so for about a month. That's where I'm at currently, slowly but like reconnecting with my tarot practice and my oracle deck practice. And so I thought my lens to view this particular tag would be to share with you the 11 decks I'm excited to use now that I'm finally able to reconnect with my love of reading the cards. I'm still very much struggling physically. I have lost a lot of mobility, and so I have to take that into consideration in terms of the decks I'm sharing with you today, because, for example, I can't be using any square decks, any round decks, any large decks, as I'm still unable to shuffle any of those. My hands are still painful, so that also was taken into consideration for the decks I'm sharing with you today, as the decks I'm excited to reconnect with are actually decks that I'm going to be able to shuffle, and the other ones I'll have to leave until I'm a little bit better. So that's where I'm coming from with this particular video, sharing with you 11 decks that are gonna be at the center stage of me reconnecting with my love of tarot. If you're new here, you should know in the description box you will find all the names of the decks I'm mentioning today. You will also find a link to my second channel, The Waves of Your Soul Readings, where I share monthly guidance, pick-a-pile readings, and all of that good stuff, where I actually put these decks to good use, reading the cards for you guys. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, you're welcome to like, comment, subscribe. Those are all wonderful ways to support my work. I'm still struggling to type, so I'm very slow responding to comments, but know that I read all of them. So without further ado, let's do this current 11 favorite decks. Let's go. I thought we would start with oracle decks, as that's what I have the list of, primarily because a lot of my oracle decks are very large, and like I said, my hands are still a problem right now, so I am gonna focus on a couple. These are the main two that I'm currently enjoying using and that I know I will continue to use for the next few weeks. The first one is not going to be a surprise, as if you watch my readings channel, you've seen me use quite a lot even before I got sick, months of March, etc. And that is the Inner Reflect Oracle. This was very kindly sent to me by the creator Rachele, so if you're watching, Rachele, thank you so much. This is an oracle deck of 50 cards. It was created with the help of AI, as it states on the box. Really appreciate the honesty. As with all of AI decks, I really appreciate when people are very honest and upfront about that. And this is a great oracle for mostly like fortune telling, divination, looking at the weeks ahead, months ahead, doing like energies of the week, stuff like that. I've used it before I got sick on my readings channel, and then now that I'm starting to get a little bit better, I've started using it for myself as well, and I love it so much. I love the choices of keywords that Rachele has chosen, which is very balanced. We have light and shadow here. I love the art style, which is giving very like Studio Ghibli vibe. I love the colors, bright colors, and the choices, and just everything about this deck is wonderful. Honestly, I don't have anything bad to say about it. I have been absolutely loving reading with this. Rachele can be super proud of his choices. Look at this. Look at this. How cute is that? I cannot. Okay, that's adorable. It's matte cardstock, but it doesn't like stick or anything. So even though I have struggled with my hands right now, it's still really easy to shuffle. Wonderful, versatile oracle deck, specifically great for anything related to like divination, fortune telling, anything like that. Another one of my favorite card. We have protection. I love this one so much. So yeah, that's the Inner Reflect Oracle. It's so good. I absolutely adore it. One I can see myself continue to use for the foreseeable future. The other Oracle deck I am using right now to like slowly get back into reading the card is the Mildred Payne's Secret Pocket Oracle by Deviant Moon. I have the deluxe edition. I've had this deck for quite a while, but I don't know if I've actually shared it on my channel before. You've definitely seen it if you watch my readings channel, because I used it in a career reading that I had done just before I got sick. So I'll make sure to leave that in the cards so you can check that out in case you want to see how this deck reads. But it's a deck I've had for a long time, and as you can see, it's more pocket size, which again right now with the pain in my hands is really more so what I can handle, so that's perfect. 88 cards. Here are the backs. I always told myself I need to do the edges in black, and then I always forget. So one day I will remedy that. But I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with the Mildred's Payne Oracle. It comes in a lot of different formats. This is a deluxe edition, so there is more cards. You know me, I'm a greedy bitch, so I like decks that have a lot of cards, but there's another version with less cards that's a little bit more affordable. I think there's like a blue version which looks awesome, and I'm very tempted to pick it up at some point. There is like a bloody version or something which looks a little bit more gruesome. There's like, you know, as with all of Patrick Valenza's decks, a few options. You can find stuff to your liking, a picture, a keyword, and off you go. This is fantastic for, again, divination, fortune telling, looking at the energies of the week ahead, of the months ahead, potentially looking at any kind of fortune telling kind of readings. You can use this to pair with tarot. You can use this on its own to do larger spreads. It is so versatile. It's awesome, and right now really easy to use. So it's one that I've actually been able to use for myself as soon as I was able to use my hands a little bit more. I've really enjoyed using this one. Personally, I find this one super intuitive. I read it intuitively 100% of the way. I don't know if there is a PDF guidebook. I actually never looked for it, because for me, I just read it completely intuitively. But there might be. I don't know. You guys would have to let me know in the comments if you know or not. For me, it reads wonderfully as it comes intuitively, because it, you know, represents day-to-day objects. Some a little bit more magical than others, but it's great. It's very popular for a reason, and I'm very happy to be reconnecting with this one at this moment in time. So that is the Mildred Payne's Secret Pocket Oracle, and again, I have the deluxe edition. Let's talk about tarot decks, the rest of my 11 choices, so 9 decks, if I can still do basic math. The rest of the decks I'm going to share with you today are going to be tarot. You guys know tarot is my main love, and because I've not been able to use decks for over a month, I miss tarot so much, and so these are all the decks that I'm excited to reconnect with as part of my tarot practice. As with every time I go through some shit in my life, I tend to often go back to one of my favorites, and one of the decks that is always there for me ever since I've purchased it is this particular gem, the Joe Sparrow Tarot. This is an indie deck by a UK creator. I think now you can get this deck in it doesn't come in a tug box anymore. I think it comes in a 2-piece box, but other than that, I'm pretty sure the cards are the same. I haven't got the newest edition, so I'm not 100% sure, but as far as I know, there wasn't any art change, just changes in the box. This is one of my absolute favorite deck, you guys. If you watch my channel for any amount of time, you probably know this. I'm obsessed with this deck. It's top 3 of my favorite decks ever. I just adore the art style. I adore the kind of like childlike value of this one. I adore how whimsical it is, how colorful it is. I adore the choices made by the creator. It's very unique, it's very whimsical, it's got a little bit of a playful side, yet it can absolutely go deep, and it's just everything. Like, sometimes you can't explain why you love a deck so much, you just do. For me, this deck and I are bonded by the hip, right? This is one of my Horcruxes. I'm absolutely obsessed with this one. A deck that if I ever lost, I would repurchase immediately because I could never be without it. And because right now I've been without my decks for ages, I've been unable to use them for a long time. This is one that I miss so much and that I want to reuse because it's always there when I'm going through tough times. And being super sick like this, going through such physical pain, which I'm used to it. I'm used to, I live with invisible disability, so I'm pretty used to chronic pain. But this particular combo with my pre-existing condition, getting the chikungunya was truly an ordeal. I was in and out of hospital in April. I just went through a lot. I'll spare you guys the details, but it was not fun. So now that I'm slowly but surely getting back on my feet, I want to reconnect with my first loves. I want to use decks that make me happy, and this is absolutely one of them. So I had to shout it out. Oh, forever and always, the Joe Sparrow Tarot is a favorite. Let's talk about the Hilda Tarot. This is a deck I got earlier this year. Loved using it. When was it? It was February, March, I think. And I'm super excited to pick it back up again now that I'm able to read with my decks a little bit more. This is a deck you can get on Make playing cards. So it's one of those print on demand. It comes in this gorgeous gingham inspired box, and Hilda, originally created by Joan Bryars, but the person who created this deck, or compiled it I should say, goes by Regretty Spaghetti on Instagram, and they have done a fantastic job. So this is my go-to self-care deck, and I'm super happy I'm able to use it again because it's linen cardstock, so it's actually very light. It's not too heavy, and right now it's hard for me to use, like I said, large decks or heavy decks, but this one is very light, so we love that. It's got that linen cardstock. And by the way, I'm showing the cards this way because it's easier again for my hands. Hopefully you won't mind it. I'm literally just doing the best I can with limited mobility, you guys. But there we go, the Hilda Tarot, obviously compiling images of the infamous pinup from the 60s and 70s. Hilda is curvy, she's fun, she's playful, she's got sass and a whole lot of ass, and I absolutely adore her. She is super clumsy, she is a celebration of life, of fun, and she just reminds me to not take life too seriously. And I think the person who created this deck, who decided to find the pre-existing images from Joan Bryars to create this deck, have chosen fantastically. There's literally not one card I don't like. I think you can tell that the person who made this really understands tarot. All the choices are super smart, I think, and this is such a joy. It really is a celebration of the woman body, of enjoying yourself, not taking yourself too seriously, tapping into your playful, fun side, and just enjoying life unapologetically. I think this is what this deck represents to me, and it's become my self-care deck because it makes me smile. It reminds me to love the body I'm in, even when I'm in pain, even when it does stupid shit, right? Like it did in the months of April. I have to be grateful that I'm still here, I'm still breathing, and this deck reminds me to do that. Plus, Hilda is oftentimes accompanied with her little dog, and you know what? Mood. I love dogs. That's all I want to do myself. Hang out, eat cake with my dogs, lay in the sun, read my books. That is my Hobbit fantasy right there, and Hilda lives it to the fullest. So that's definitely a current favorite. I absolutely adore that deck. I could see this deck being a favorite for me for 2025, to be honest, because it's such a joy and I absolutely adore it. So that's the Hilda Tarot. It was out of print for a while, and I'm so glad that the creator put it back on Make Playing Cards because everyone deserves this gorgeous deck in their life. Let's talk about one of the newer decks in my collection. If you've watched my latest haul, you will have seen this one. This is the Hidden Tales Tarot by Gurgely Borgameri. I got this particular deck on Etsy. Gurgely specializes in reproduction of historical decks, Tarot de Marseille, Milanese tarot, tarot keys and such, but this is his own creation where he has taken inspiration from a few different historical decks to create his own. So in this one you will see we have inspiration from the Minchiate tarot, we have inspiration from Tarot de Marseille, as well as inspirations from the Visconti Sforza. So there's a few different like historical inspiration in this one, but I absolutely adore Gurgely's art style. I love his Tarot de Marseille, and when I found out he was doing his own hybrid deck this year, I could not resist. So I got this on Etsy. As you can tell, it's a pip deck, but for those of you who are afraid of pips, this is a pip deck that definitely gives you a lot of hints, as a lot of the placements from the pips are reminiscent to the RWS. Like for the Six of Wands, you can see we still have the laurel wreath that signifies victory. For the Three of Swords, we see blood at the bottom of the sword, which reminds you of the bleeding heart. So whilst it's a pip deck, it definitely gives you a lot of like hints in terms of what's in the background, the placement of the pips, and that makes this one, I think, absolutely great for those of you who are wanting to get into reading with the pips. On top of that, I mean, Gurgely's art style is delicious. I love the way that he depicts specifically people's faces, like the majors and the court cards are so beautiful. In all of his decks, that's always something really interesting. I just really enjoy his art style, and this is one that I'm super excited to use. I've already done a couple of readings with this one, and it reads really well. It's a little bit on the smaller size, so again, right now for my hands, it's perfect because I can't really be doing with large deck. All of the aces are these little cherubs, which are absolutely adorable. And the only thing I will say, be aware, is that the cardstock is very flimsy. It's more on the papery side, like it doesn't feel like it's got a core or any kind of coating. So that's something to be very aware of. If you guys like to riffle shuffle, I think with this one you'd have to be very careful because it probably would get damaged easily. I personally don't do riffle shuffling anyway, and right now the only kind of shuffling I'm doing is desperately trying to mix my cards on my bed like a dog paddling in the water. That's my shuffling style right now, so for that it works. But yeah, if you guys are a little bit rough with your cards, be aware that this does not feel like it has much core. Doesn't matter to me. I've got this mostly for the art style, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And like I said, I've been enjoying reading with it already, so I'm excited to continue using this one. Look at this star card. Absolutely gorgeous. I think one of my favorite card of the deck. It's beautiful. Let's talk about an RWS that I absolutely adore. I've been loving using this since the beginning of the year. That is the Re-Envision Smith-Waite Tarot. This is one, again, you can get on Make Playing Cards. I've actually done a Make Playing Cards order just at the end of April, and I'm super excited to be getting those decks. And I was wondering if you guys were interested actually in me doing a video about all of my decks from Make Playing Cards, because I have quite a few. There's definitely some hidden gems there, and it's not a theme I see a lot of people talk about, like decks that you can find on this print-on-demand website, and yet there are some amazing decks such as this one on Make Playing Cards. So let me know in the comments if you want me to do a mini collection. I mean, I have quite a few, so it would be a long video, but I'd be happy to share with you all of my decks from Make Playing Card, how I use them and all of that good stuff, especially once I receive my latest order. Let me know in the comments if that is interesting to you. But anyway, that's one of them. You can see it's made by the Art Occultist, who has done other decks that you can find on Make Playing Cards. I only have this one, but I did check out the Diverse RWS Tarot, and I am tempted to pick that up at some point. Here are the backs. The reason why I love this particular version of the RWS is because the images from Pamela Coleman Smith have been added on top of landscapes, and that is beautiful to me. Okay, I know some people are going to look at this and be like, oh yeah, it's just an RWS, but to me it's not. First, I love the RWS. It's my comfort blanket. It's my period pants. Okay, whenever I don't know what I'm doing with my life, when I feel lost and confused and I need something comforting and cozy, the RWS is that to me. It's what I've learned tarot on, and so any kind of fun, like different version of the RWS, it's all appealing to me. And this one I absolutely adore because I love the addition of like the nature background. I think it adds something very different and unique to this particular deck. Look at this gorgeous Three of Wands, like how beautiful. And the choices also all make sense. It adds layers, it adds a certain depth to this particular deck. Like look at this Empress, so beautiful with the pink background. So yeah, I adore this particular RWS. I've never seen anyone talk about it on YouTube or anything. I never see it around, and yet to me this is one of the most gorgeous RWS decks that you can get your hands on. Again, you can get this on Make Playing Cards. It's very, very stunning. I adore all the choices, and it's one I'm super excited to be using again. Look at this Fool. I love this Fool card so much. Yeah, there's just something super aesthetically pleasing about the nature background, Pamela's art style on top of it, which is absolutely beautiful, of course. So that is the re-envisioned Smith-Waite Tarot. It's a deck I don't know if I've shown on my channel before, so here we go. We are remedying that. I'll make sure to include it in my future haul when I receive my other decks from Make Playing Cards, because I don't think I've shared this with you guys before. But it is this one, the what is this called? My God, I forgot. Architectural objects. Oh my God, try and say that with a French accent. Architectural objects, yeah, tarot. This is by the same creator who did the Naturescapes tarot, which you guys know is one of my all-time favorite nature decks. Again, another one you can get on Make Playing Cards. And this time it is inspired by buildings, doors, through architecture and all of that good stuff. And I have had this deck for a while and I forgot I had it, literally, because I think I ordered this at the same time as I ordered my Naturescape, so I've had it for at least like 3 years, I think. I completely forgot I had this, and I found it again when I was going through my little shelves and stuff and looking for decks that I would be able to use right now that were not too heavy, big, and that I would be able to handle currently with my like painful hands. And I realized I own this and I was like, what the fuck, Marine? You literally have never used it. You are a dum-dum. So we're gonna remedy that because I'm super excited. When I found it, I felt like I was, shopping for free because I literally had forgotten I owned this. So it really felt like getting a new deck, even though I had already paid for it. As you can see, this deck is very unique. It's photography and it's only showcasing architecture. We love this. Obviously, you guys know this is my favorite. Page of Wands, and we have a Hobbit house. Come on. Page of Wands is my significator. We have a Hobbit home. I can't be happier than that. This is Chariot. Here we have the Hierophant. It's absolutely stunning. I can't believe I never used this, and I'm so excited to be getting to know this one, to use this one, because when I was going through it, I literally adored every single choices, and I remembered why I ordered this at the same time as the Naturescapes Tarot. And the Naturescapes Tarot is a deck that ended up being a huge favorite for me. I use it all the time when I want something like nature inspired, and I think the choices here again are so smart. Look at this Eight of Wands, subway kind of tube kind of train. It's so clever. Three of Wands with this gorgeous door. I'm just absolutely in awe by these creators' inspiration, creativity, mind. I think super smart, right? Super clever. And this is just awesome. Super awesome. I'm so excited to have found it again. I'm so excited to use this. I absolutely love this King of Cups. And so I'd love, let me know, you guys, if you have this one, the kind of readings you guys like to do. This is another of my favorite. This 10 of Wands is so beautiful. So I'm excited to use this one. I already know it's going to be a great deck to use for me because I already feel like that connection from just going through it, looking at the different choices. They speak to me so much. And again, the cardstock, it's Make Playing Card, so it's not too thick. perfect for me right now. Easy to shuffle. Look at this Six of Cups with Alice statue. So cool. So yeah, that is the Architectural Objects Tarot. Super beautiful. And you guys, I love doors. Ever since I've been little, I've loved doors when I was little. And, if I had any camera, any disposable camera, I would be taking pictures of cool doors because that was always something that fascinated me. Historical doors, old doors, doors with cool door handle. That was always something that fascinated me ever since I was a child. And the fact that there's a ton of doors in this one really speaks to me. So I am so pumped. This is probably the one I'm the most excited about. Let's talk about an oldie but a goodie that I'm really enjoying reconnecting with right now, and that is the Tarot Nefertari. I'm having a bit of an Egyptian moment right now because I'm enjoying reading books, like fiction books inspired by Egyptian mythology and stuff right now. I read a couple when I was sick. One of my favorite was a YA book actually by Isabel Jimenez, I think her name is. It's called What the River Knows. Here are the backs, and this is a Los Scarabeo deck. I've had this deck for years. I edged my copy in black because it literally needed it. It was so old and starting to show wear. Like I said, I've been reading some cool Egyptian-inspired books. My favorite recently has been What the River Knows. It is a YA book, fantasy inspired, based in life in Egypt in the 19th century. Follows the story of a young girl whose parents are always going to Egypt, like go and search for treasures and do archaeological exploration. She is herself based in Argentina, but her parents leave her with her aunt to live as they go 6 months a year to Egypt, and they never want her to come with, so she has to spend her life with her cousins and her aunt, and she's always waiting for her parents to come back and to see her like 6 months a year, until she gets a letter one day telling her that her parents have passed away, and so she decides to book a ticket to go to Egypt herself and to find out what has happened to her parents. So this is a YA book set up, like I said, 19th century Egypt. There's a little bit of magic. If you're like me, a basic millennial who had a spiritual awakening watching Indiana Jones and the Mummy, you will enjoy this book, and you probably would enjoy this tarot deck. We've all had our Egyptian phase, right? When we were kids, I think a lot of us did. A lot of us would have enjoyed like reading books at the school library about Egypt. That was all. We've all had that phase. Don't lie, I know it. Let me know in the comments, but I know I'm not the only one. This particular book was super fun. I really enjoyed it. And it made me realize, you know what? I'm craving some Egyptian deck. So this is the one I felt drawn to. I've had this deck for years. Like I said, it's mass market, but look how gorgeous. It's gold. It's beautiful. It has this like papyrus inspiration, lots of hieroglyph. It represents a lot of different deities, and it's great. I really enjoy it. I think it's beautiful. We have Nut for the world. For this, obviously, we have Anubis. There's a lot of different deities and divinities represented in this deck, and I really adore it. And if you guys have read What the River Knows, let me know. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great read. It was fast-paced. I really enjoyed the main character Inez, and I'm excited to read book 2 because I don't know if it's going to be a duology or if it's going to be a trilogy, but I'm excited to read the next book, which is already out, because it left us on the cliffhanger on the first book, and I need to know what happens next. Okay, let's move on. We have 3 more decks, you guys, so let's talk about them. Let's talk about the Baroque Tarot. This is the deluxe edition, first edition. I backed this on Kickstarter, and I think the people who are doing this, which are a Spectrum project, they also are the ones who are doing the Naked Truth Tarot. I saw that they're doing a new edition of the Naked Truth Tarot, and I think they are in the works for doing a new edition of the Baroque Tarot with more diversity, which is awesome. I wish I had waited, to be honest, because I love this deck so much, but I would have loved it even more if I could have more representation in the cards. That being said, it's still a deck I really, really enjoy. I've loved it since the beginning. I've loved it since I've had this, I think, end of last year, and it's one I'm always excited to read with on my other channel, always excited to read with for other people and for myself. When I'm craving something classical looking, this has been a go-to, and I'm so happy I get to pick it back up now that I'm able to use my decks again. So this has got, again, very easy to shuffle cardstock, a little bit plasticky, I think, but not too flimsy and not too slippery, so really beautiful production quality. I really enjoy the cardstock, actually. It's really nice, and as you can see, it's inspired by classical art, but it's not reusing classical art. It's actually art that was created by the people who made this deck, and that's why I really like it, because it's not using, you know, paintings that we've seen again and again. I love like decks that reuse classical art, but a lot of them are starting to look the same. So I'm sure there's plenty more that could be used, but it is starting to feel like a lot of the decks that are reusing classical art are, you know, they all use the same paintings, even though they might place them differently in different tarot cards. This one, because it was created to look classical, but it's not actually reusing existing painting, feels fresh to me, feels fresh, feels interesting, and I really, really love it. Like I said, I think right now they're thinking about doing a new edition with more diversity, and I think that's awesome. I wish you could buy just the extra cards, but I don't think that's going to be possible, which is a shame. I don't really want to pay for a whole new deck, and I still really enjoy this one the way it is. It's just that I'm someone who really appreciates diversity in my deck, so if I knew it was coming, I would have waited, but I still really, really adore this one. It reads like a dream. I've read with this one for a ton of people. Ever since I've had this, I've read with it on my channel, on my other channels, The Waves of Yours, reading a lot. It's just a really good reader. Absolutely gorgeous. That's my least favorite card though. That's ugly. Come on. They could have done something differently. You can't give me something as beautiful as this. 8 of coins, right? Which is absolutely stunning. And then give me this really ugly Wheel of Fortune. Like, how sad. That's my only complaint. A sad looking Wheel of Fortune. Everything else is gorgeous. I mean, look at this 3 of Cups. It's beautiful. So yeah, that is the Baroque Tarot Deluxe Edition. Like I said, check out the people's Instagram or Kickstarter page or whatever, as I have a feeling there's going to be a new edition coming out at some point this year. The last 2 tarot decks have been favorites since pretty much the beginning of the year. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use them right now because they're a little bit on the thicker side. I have that kind of matte rose petal finish, so I'm not sure I'll be able to use them. We're gonna see, but they're huge favorites this year, and as soon as I am able to use them, I am gonna be doing so because I adore them so much. They're definitely part of my early favorites so far. That is the Children of Lisa Tarot by Xia Hunt. I got the Kickstarter for her Children of Ostara, and at the same time I picked up the Children of Lisa. Originally I had this deck back in 2019 and I let it go way too soon because I thought I was not like bonding with it, and I regretted it ever since. So as soon as I saw this year she was doing a Kickstarter and you could pick up her older deck with it, I jumped on the occasion, and this has been a huge favorite. Like, I've missed this deck ever since I let it go in 2019. I bit myself for it, thinking I should never have let this go, and I'm really, really glad I own it again because I literally have been using this one non-stop since I've received it. Probably my most use of 2025 so far, and I can't wait to dive into this world more. The guidebook has poems, which I absolutely adore. You guys know I love when guidebooks hold poems. I think that's really special. It's nature inspired, but it's also a little bit fae inspired. So all of the majors, as you can see here for the High Priestess, have these kind of fae beings with animals, and then all of the minors are showcasing different animals with a little bit more pepish kind of minors, which is why I let it go at the time and why I regretted it afterwards, because I thought it would be hard to read with, and honestly it's really not. In terms of the minors, you'll have birds for all of the swords. I think all of the wands are felines, like cats and tigers and lions. All of the pentacles have animals like the rhinos here and goats, and animals that feel a little bit more with hooves and rams and things like that. And then all of the cups obviously have water animals, like aquatic animals. So this is an absolutely stunning deck. I'm such a fan of Xia's art style. She is becoming an auto-buy kind of artist for me right now. Like, I just absolutely adore her art style. I really hope she's gonna do one deck for each of the Sabbaths, because if she does, she will get my money immediately. I saw that she was working on a Deacon inspired deck. I don't even work work with the Deacons, but you know what? I'll still get it because she's doing it. So I'm like, yeah, take my money. I just really, really adore her art style. And this deck, you guys, this deck is just everything I love. It's a little bit fae, it's a little bit magical, whimsical, fantasy, but it also has animals. Like those are my two passions, right? Fantasy and nature. Those are my main two loves in decks. So I absolutely adore this one so much. Such a strong favorite. I'm so glad I have my hands on this one again. I regretted letting go of it so much. And this is my favorite card. Look at this, lovers. Oh, I can't. I would love to read a book about these two. It's just so beautiful. It makes me think of like a romantic-y character or something. Really gorgeous. So yeah, that's the Children of Lisa. Beautiful. A huge favorite this year. You can expect to see it in my early favorites for sure. And the last deck I wanted to share with you today is a deck, again, I loved using until I got sick, and that I'm so excited to pick back up again now that I'm slowly but surely getting back on my feet. That is the Cosmic Seeker Tarot. This is an indie deck. I got this one on Salon des Arcanes, but I think you can get this directly on the artist website. Originally it was a Kickstarter, but I'm pretty sure this is now available for purchase. It's created by Nadine Sophie Whaleblinger. Here are the backs. The sides are these gorgeous red mats. And again, this is a fantasy-inspired deck that I really, really love. I've been loving it until I got sick, and I'm so excited to use it more now that I'm able to manipulate my decks a little bit better, because it's everything I like in a deck. It's got a little bit of fantasy, it's got elves and different like magical creatures. It really feels like reading one of my favorite fantasy books. I'm a huge fantasy lover. Like 90% of the books I read are fantasy. If you tell me, Marine, please sit down and read a 10-book series that is holding dragons and like magic and olive and phoenix and stuff like that, I'm like, yes, please. That sounds like a great time to me, you know. I love that shit. And this really feels like a deck that is representing of all of my favorite books, right? Right now I'm reading Ryan Cahill's The Bound and Broken trilogy. This feels very that. It feels very The Wheel of Time. It feels very Tolkien. This feels very much inspired by all of the awesome fantasy books that I personally adore, and that makes me happy. So that's why I love this deck. It's magical, it's whimsical, and it's everything I want in a deck when I want to escape a little bit. Not a huge fan of this world card. I mean, it's okay, but it's giving you a little bit more Jesus. I don't know why. I don't know why. This one is making me, I know it's like got Stonehenge or something in the background, but the way people are dressed, it's not giving me fantasy, it's giving me Jesus. I don't know, it just doesn't go with the rest of the deck, I don't think, but that's just me. Then you get something like this 10 of fire, and you're like, okay, yeah, you know, I'm back there, I'm back again, you got me again, you got me, gal. So most of the cards I love. There's a couple I don't love, but honestly, most of them I love, and this is my favorite one. This Magician is awesome. If you guys have read Kings of the Wild, which is a standalone fantasy book, very funny, very awesome, very cool. This reminds me of the Magician in this particular book, and he was my favorite character in that one. If you've not read that and you guys are into fantasy with humor and grown-up characters, absolutely you need to read Kings of the Wild. It's awesome. Anyway, so yeah, that is the Cosmic Seeker Tarot, a huge favorite. I'm loving it. I mean, there's a whale. Come on, I can't say no to a whale. You guys know that. So yeah, another one I absolutely love, and I'm so excited to be using again. I missed my deck so much, you guys. I missed my deck so much, and I'm so happy I get to reconnect with them. I missed reading the cards. I missed using decks. We have different lovers. They're all beautiful. We have a straight couple, a lesbian couple, and a gay couple. They're all gorgeous. I left them all in because I love them all. So there you go. And I love when we get that choice as well. So yeah, that's the Cosmic Seeker Tarot. I will finish here because I'm starting to flare up. I need to lie down with my heat pad. I wanted to say a huge thank you for tuning in. A huge thank you for spending a little bit of time with me. Again, thank you to Rachele for creating this tarot tag. It was super fun. Make sure to check out everyone's VR if you click on the hashtag, and let me know in the comments which is the deck here that you preferred? Is there any that you guys have, the ways that you enjoyed reading with it? What are your current favorite decks? And until my next video, I just wanted to send you so much good vibes. Thank you so much for your patience and kindness until I'm slowly getting back on my feet. It is a slow recovery, but I'm getting there, and all of your guys' sweet messages are really filling my soul with so much joy. So thank you so much. I am sending you so many hugs. Take good care of yourself and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye, Internet.